Find your path with the knowledge of others and become an illuminator for those who struggle. Guide their way just by being true and being in alignment, because it comes naturally to you. On self-discovery wisdom, we share to find inspiration with lessons for millions. We hope you listen.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Building Your Business, right here, selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, and I'm joined today by Terisse Louise Bell Walker. We're going to be talking about building with purpose. She says for more than 4 decades, she's watched hardworking families and business owners do everything right, yet still find themselves financially vulnerable when life unexpectedly changes. After experiencing personal loss, career transitions, and becoming a caregiver for her aging mother, she discovered that her greatest purpose wasn't building a business, it was building people. Today, she helps individuals, families, and inspiring entrepreneurs create stronger financial foundations through education, protection, leadership, and business ownership opportunities. Her message is simple. When we lead with purpose, serve with integrity, invest in others, we don't just change financial futures, we create legacies that impact generations. She's also the co-author of Built with Purpose, Real Stories of Entrepreneurs Building Business with Purpose. We'll be talking about the book. We'll also be talking about many other things on here. She has a free gift, but you have to stay to the end of the show to find out what that is all about. We are going to let you know that right now where she is that they've had an internet breakdown. It was promised 3 days ago that it would be up and running, and it isn't. So it might be a little sketchy. Stay with us, folks, because it's all about the wonderful content that she's going to share with us today. Welcome, Terisse. How are you doing?
Thanks, Sarah. It's Terisse Walker. No worries. I appreciate you having me on your show today.
Terisse Walker. Yes, my apologies. Yes.
No worries. So I'm welcome to be here on your show and sharing about something that I found near and dear to my heart. Building something with purpose. I can't imagine my life, how it changed after I lost my husband.
We're going to get changes and challenges in life. Nothing stays linear, and it's not meant to. It's how we cope with those changes. And if we are prepared, or if we know that there is an alternative, then it helps us navigate. Of course, there's the emotional side of things, the grieving side of things, coming to terms with something you have that has gone, whether it's loss of a person, a job, a way of life. One must grieve that for a moment. But it's also then, how do you pivot? And for so many people, the big question is how do I pivot? I don't know how.
In the beginning, I did not know. I lost my husband became ill, and he went in the hospital on May 7th. On May 15th, I lost my job. He'd already lost his because he was sick in the hospital with a terminal illness. So we stuck together until the end day came, 2 months and a week after his stage 4 diagnosis. And here I am in my 57, so mid to late 50s, kids in college, and wondering, what am I going to do? So I took some time for myself. I needed to. It was a 36-year relationship gone.
Yeah.
It's a long time. And we had a traditional life insurance product, death benefit. So it gave me some money after he died. But I wasn't introduced to living benefits until 7 years and a week after he passed.
Wow.
When I was told that there was a better life insurance product, something you don't have to wait to die to use. And that became my purpose, my mission. It's grown into how I share my life with others. What if? I never thought about what if. I worked hard. I worked for 4 decades for other people. I never thought about getting sick. My husband never thought about getting sick, you know? And yet, what if happened to us? It could happen to you. If you got sick, is your family going to be okay tomorrow? Will you pay your mortgage? Will you pay your rent? Will you put food on the table? Can you pay all your medical bills if you didn't have your income coming in?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of questions. I met a lady. Her husband just was diagnosed with cancer. He's 60s, early 60s, no health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. I can't imagine that bill. I don't know how she's going to pay for it. And she's wondering. So I made some phone calls to see if I can help her. But this is after the fact. What about
Yes.
before the fact? You know?
And, never mind dealing with the illness, then worrying about, am I going to have to give up my life to pay for it? I mean, when somebody is sick, they should be concentrating on getting well, not worrying about how they're going to pay the bill.
Exactly. And that's why I love the products that we offer to everyday Americans, life insurance that you can use because you got diagnosed illness, that you can get cash within a few weeks of diagnosis, and quite a bit of cash. And it's your death benefit just transitioning over to a cash payout because you're sick first.
I mean, let's face it, with what America is going through right now with Medicaid and with medicine suddenly skyrocketing to, I heard the other day a young man who used to pay $56 for his asthma pump, it went up to 500 and something. He couldn't afford it and died. And this is quintessentially, quite honestly, murder by government.
Yes.
And it's so utterly ridiculous because there's no support for the citizens. But this is where I always see citizens stepping up. Government fails them, and they get together and form something that becomes supportive. And, that then actually then goes on to be the status quo, which is something we so desperately need.
Mm-hmm.
So
desperately need. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's just those stories just like that really get you,
we don't know what's going to hit us along the way. We have no idea, whether it's a loss of somebody, a loss of job, ill health. It just today, in today's world, it's even the unimagined that can happen. And when you're young, especially, you kind of think you're indestructible and you can bounce back and all of that, and maybe you can, but when you're older, it's a little harder to readjust.
If you read Facebook, I mean, you see stories every day, and it doesn't matter what age you are, cancer can happen. And so it does affect young people. It does affect old people, but it's not just cancer. It's any illness, heart attack, stroke. Any illness that you didn't plan on having can strike tomorrow, even a car accident.
Yes. Well, then you've got people with preconditioned problems that most insurance companies will not support.
There are some, yes, there are some, because if you're already ill, it's very difficult to get living benefits. But there are ways to help people with creating a savings plan if they have cash savings through annuities. And annuities have some special riders that maybe you didn't qualify for the living benefits on the life side, you would qualify on the annuity side. So it's just talking to an expert, a life insurance agent, see what products that they have available to you. Because there's a wide variety and only educated people are aware of it. If you're just a general public going through life, going through natural struggles, like I was back when my husband was alive in 2016, I didn't know about living benefits, or I didn't even know about, I knew about how to do accounting and creating things for employees and benefits and all that kind of thing, but not for myself as a life insurance agent. That didn't come till years later. What do we offer our clients? And it's to get the word out, education. education is always first.
It is, because, we never know what we don't know. It's, and it's only in times of crisis that we realize we don't know what the answers are. So we have to go seeking, podcasts, TED Talks, so get on the internet, start looking at what's there, but also, buyer beware. Make sure that you're going with a company that really is rooted and has a good track record, which is really important.
Which I'm not sure if I should say the company, but they founded living benefits in 1937, June 9th.
Yeah.
Terminal illness was their very first policy, and yet it took until July of 2023 for me to hear about them.
Yeah, that says something. Yeah. When we need to, a company that's been around that long, they started during the recession, and it's like,
years.
Exactly. And why do we not know about it? And so,
they don't advertise. It's supposed to be us insurance agents advertising for them. And
right.
We just don't do.
Well, that's part of how they keep their costs down, because advertising could be so expensive. So, and also, let's face it, word of mouth is always so much more reliable. Exactly. Right? When somebody's had a good experience and they pass that good experience on, people feel more comfortable with going with somebody who's had a good experience.
Yes, I agree 100%.
The old picket fence, right? Just got to get people chatting more.
Yes. We're
not getting drowned out.
We're growing up in a society that wasn't used to chatting, and ever since COVID, it's been a little different story. How do you meet people? You have to put yourself out there to talk with people, because it's not door knocking anymore. It's actually networking and meeting people through organizations like Facebook, Alignable, networking in little small groups of people and building your business that way. So. And
it's not about bombarding people. It's like maybe seeing somebody that's in trouble and saying, is there any way I can help? And I represent this company, and they help people in these areas. Is this an area that they can help in? What we have ended up with so much these days is too much in your face bombardment, where people are turned off, rather than I see you, I hear your story. I've been able to help people with this type of story. May we have a conversation instead of pitch. So there's a lot of, ways that we need to actually present something, because a lot of people are turned off by the perpetual pitching.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. Life throws us curveballs. I actually, after I lost my husband, I lost my stepfather to heart disease. Not even a year later. Then I lost my daughter. And then I lost she was 25, a mom of 2. I wasn't in the life insurance business. I didn't know she wasn't protected with life insurance. And she left a 6-month-old and a 2.5-year-old. Imagine.
Yes.
And then I lost my stepmom to dementia. And years before that, my dad died at the age of 71, shocked of us all. He passed away in 2003. And his mom was 94 and his dad was 89. Here he left at 71. Go figure. And it was supposed to be a mild illness. He was supposed to come home, and then he slipped into a coma.
We don't know when our numbers up. I lost my father when he was 45. And I don't ever remember things like life insurance or anything like that. We went from living beautiful homes, boarding school and all of that type of thing, to kind of totally minimizing our life. And it was something that people didn't talk about, especially women. It was the husbands took care of it. All right. And, a husband who's denying that he's sick, and I'm not going to die, because he was a fighter pilot in the war. So he was treating it like he was, in the Spitfire. Where does that leave the spouse? Right. So this needs to be a family matter. It's the stitch in time. One hopes one never has to use it. right? That's what the hope is, that we never have to use it. But what is insurance? It's in case,
Just
in
case
case you have to use it. Yeah.
you know, and you grew up in an era where the man took care of almost everything, all the free
Yes,
people. And then the
absolutely.
spouse passes away, the wife is left like, well, I don't know.
Yeah,
And so we, as a world of women, we need to be more proactive into knowing what's going on in our homes,
exactly.
because what if? And I'm sorry, but in most cases, many men pass before their
Yeah,
brides.
yeah,
It's just a natural circumstance. Every now and then a woman will pass away first, but in most cases, we need, as women, need to be aware that that could happen and be prepared. Know where your money is. Know where the insurance policies are.
exactly.
Know where your passwords are and his passwords are, so you can get into
Yes,
accounts. Make sure
yeah.
that your bank account has a beneficiary or a joint account. That way your
Mm,
money doesn't get frozen right when somebody passes away. If there's no beneficiary, the bank locked it. And it could take a while to get your funds. So
yeah.
awareness,
Mhm.
preparedness, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, we're not taught these
I,
things in school, which I wish we were. I wish that it was something that people were taught right from the word go, because whether you marry or not marry, if you're a single person, you suddenly become ill
yeah,
and you can't tell anybody about, what's your password into your bank or this or that. So, there's so much that we need to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's on, because we are living in a world of uncertainty, and we really need to make sure that in the worst case scenario, you're covered, right? You know
yeah,
that you're looked after. I've heard over and over again through the years of podcasting of people who have suddenly had somebody go ill, and then they've lost everything because of that. Or where was the care? They couldn't afford the care for somebody, but because it wasn't in their insurance and they're not earning. So it's used to be the village stepped up to help everybody, right? Everybody chipped in and looked after each other.
yeah.
But we need to get back to the village. That's my
Villages are
campaign,
fractured right
most
now.
certainly.
Yes.
But in the meantime, we need to make sure that we got our own security, and make sure that we are covered. And
Right.
now, as you were saying, is that you can draw on your life insurance to help you in a crisis now. And then so many people have been turned down because of preconditions, and now you're saying there is an alternative to that. People need to know that, because
Yeah.
a lot of people, like myself, I have a precondition, and you get turned down, and
Yeah.
it is like,
I didn't know I had a heart condition and I was turned down. I somehow my medical record shows that I have heart disease, and I don't think any doctor ever told me that, but
oh
I was turned
really?
down. Yeah. So I'm doing the alternative. Yeah.
Oh my
But
goodness. And your doctor didn't tell you that? Hang on, what? That's incompetence.
I know I'm going to be talking with him. I just found out recently and I had to make an appointment with him. I had to move it. So next appointment I see him, I'm going to ask him, where did this come from and
You're
why
right.
haven't we discussed it?
Yes.
Because I mean, my dad had heart disease. I didn't know it went down to me too, you know.
Right. Yes.
So,
Yes. 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 My brother ended up with it, unfortunately. Um,
oh,
but that's the thing, is that if there is kind of cancer in the family or heart disease in the family, it generally is going to go down to someone, because we carry the genes. And you can have some insurance companies that will go, no, sorry, not going to take you on. It's in your family, and that's not right. So you have
mm,
to go with somebody that puts life first, support
right.
first, because there may be
Um,
people
yeah,
that
what's in
go
your
through the
medical
whole life
records?
never
We
having
have
to use
ways
it.
of looking what's in the medical records, maybe getting stuff fixed, so we can continue with, because sometimes medical records are wrong.
Yes,
So
yes.
we have to get those third-party records updated, corrected, so then the insurance company can say, oh, we're lined up now. And
Hmm.
sure. So it's learning and communicating and being upfront. Yeah. So I appreciate that. So,
Now,
Um,
on the other side of things, you like to help people, prepare for retirement or grow a business or explore purpose-driven entrepreneurial opportunities. So it's not just about, obviously people
mm,
getting insured and everything else. It's that, right, build with
built
purpose,
with
which is,
purpose. I cannot
um,
imagine my life a different way,
mhm,
Sarah. Um, I built other people's businesses for decades,
mm,
working for somebody else, head of accounting, head of HR. My life changed in July 23 and actually more so in October of 25 when I realized that my story counted and that I could share something with purpose with others and help them find their purpose and build something that is near and dear to them. I can't imagine going through life differently now. I
I
wake up
hear
with a
you. I
smile. I
hear
go to
you.
bed with a smile. I can
Yeah.
have 5 hours sleep. It doesn't matter. Or I can
Yes.
have more if I need. But I'm happy
Yeah.
for the first time in probably 6 decades.
Hmm.
you know,
Yes.
um, life is wonderful.
Well,
And
that's what purpose brings.
yes,
When you're purposeful, when you're doing something that's meaningful to you, it's driven by the heart. People say to me, who do you interview, Sarah? And I say the people that come from the heart. It doesn't matter what they're doing, but does it come from the heart? Is it going to benefit someone because their desire is to serve somebody with the gift that they were given, right? And it's coming from the heart because when you're around somebody when it's coming from the heart rather than somebody just doing a good job, right?
definitely. There's a big difference.
But
Yes. Yeah. And
my show last week I
I'm
did was Is Your Heart in It?
everything.
And
Mhm. That
if
would
your
be
heart
good.
isn't in it, don't do it,
Right.
right? So
Mhm.
we've all had to take those
It's
jobs along the line.
find something that is in your heart and do that. You
Yes.
don't have to do what I do. Just
No.
find something that inspires you to wake up happy and ready to serve our middle America, fellow country,
Yes.
fellow United States, our
Yeah.
fellow world,
Yeah.
serve somebody somewhere.
The satisfaction of being able to help somebody, pivot their life, have a better day, end up with tools or skills they didn't have, that they can apply. Because my motto for my shows is listen, learn, and apply. And when they've listened and they've learned and they apply it
Oh,
and it makes their life better, there's nothing more satisfying. Knowing that you had a little part in putting somebody on the right track or giving somebody some security or giving them a tool or skill or something they can use to empower their own lives. That's what meaningful purpose is all about.
I think for 20 years I've had on my Facebook, I empower others to be the best version of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
Exactly.
way before I found this opportunity,
Yes.
you
And
know.
we're all,
And that's what I like to do. I like to empower people.
yes. And it's not to say that people aren't already wonderful. It's how to empower them
Mhm.
to be even more in their essence. Because one of the things, there's 3 C's I don't like: compete, compare, or complacency. Don't compete with others, leave that to a competition. Don't compare yourself, you're unique. And do not become complacent in your own life, because that is the seeding to rot, right? And
Yes.
when you find
Yeah.
something where you feel unique, doesn't matter if other people are doing it, you're doing it your own unique way. You're not comparing, you're standing
Mhm.
tall in who you are, and you're always in flow, always moving and growing. It's such a wonderful sense of not just meaningful purpose, but a way to live.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yes. That's
And
why
it's
I
never
like
too late, is it?
when I met you. It's never too late, actually. Um, I would love to say that I plan on learning and keeping myself educated till the day I die. Because there's so much to learn and and help others. And my goal is to not just help women, especially senior women, when they learned that life didn't give them the financial capabilities that they needed. And I hate to see them on the street. So I hope that God will give me ways to help these women, but young people too. They're finding career jobs aren't the same like when I was growing.
Yeah.
They're having difficulty having an employer look at them with a straight face and say, yeah, I'll train you. The employers are different today than they were.
Yes. Yes.
And so I have a wide age group in my opportunity, from 18 to 70 something.
Yeah.
And I love working with the young, and I love working with the old, and I love working for everybody in between, because it gives me something to grow from and to help. And if I can help young people, then maybe they can help more young people of their age group and build themselves up into a better people and learn something, a career, which is a lot better than working at, McDonald's or Walmart.
For the rest of their
Those are
lives.
good
Yeah.
steps, but it's not your future going to create you a financial future. It's a stepping stone to learn.
Right.
But they're not even
Exactly.
hiring young people. You see 70s and 80-year-olds there,
Yes.
So, because most of them are more responsible. And some kids forget that they have to call in sick or better show up,
Yeah.
So they have to teach them how to be responsible. It takes time.
I have another book that I'm gathering authors for called Our Forgotten Seniors. And it's about celebrating all that seniors have contributed to the world, but also looking at their challenges. Is it health? Is it financial? Is it society? Is it family? But also to the warning to the youth of prepare for your seniorship early in life. Don't let it, suddenly come up. But the main thing is for young people to learn from the wisdom that we have gathered through our decades of life, and to take all of that wisdom and apply it to their enthusiasm, and then take it and run with it, right? They don't have to go for every hard knock there is. We've done it for them. Take the wisdom, apply. We don't want you to have to Grand Canyons. We want you to have just potholes and learn how to get back up. We've already had the bashes for you, right? But when you have the young respect the elders and their wisdom, and you have the elders giving that wisdom with enthusiasm to the young, oh my goodness, what a wonderful world.
That is wonderful. I love that. Thank you. You're wonderful, Sarah. What you're doing, helping others, thinking of what can I do? It's better than what it was yesterday. I love that.
But that's the thing, complacency, right? Don't rest. It's that, people say to me, but you do the same thing all the time, a podcast. And I said, but every podcast is different. I may be doing podcasts and another but everybody's different. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's energy is different. And that's, it's like doing a different puzzle all the time. It's a puzzle, but all the pieces are different and how you put them together. And I think it's engagement, isn't it?
Right. Yes. Very much.
Doesn't matter. As you said, you work with people in their 70s. I started this business at 57. It's now 14 years later. I'm 71 and a half. I kind of made a deal with God. I'll go until 90 as long as I can hear, see, and speak. It's up to them. But it's building a library of wisdom from people who have walked it. And it's not all mid to elder people I've interviewed. The youngest person I interviewed was 10, who'd written a book, 365 Days of Gratitude with a Positive Attitude, right?
Wow.
So we can learn from any age, any age.
Well, I'm going to go find that book.
And
that's amazing.
I think the thing is, we're conditioned by society that by this age, we must do this. By this age, we must do that. When you've reached this age, you've got to do that. And I say, take all of that and chuck it out. We have so
Yes.
many beautiful young entrepreneurs with a spirit and ingenuity and creativity. Let's feed them so they can grow. You've got people in their 70s who've done the dutiful life, and now they found something they absolutely love to do. Let's support them and encourage them and celebrate them.
Yeah.
I have a woman coming on this week who I interviewed some years ago, who kind of basically went blind, and it's how to navigate her blindness as an artist. I have a young woman on this last week who has been deaf all her life and nobody knew it because she read lips. And she finally got hearing aids because she has a degeneration in her ears. And she said, like, have you ever heard
We
the
hope
wind?
that you enjoyed
How
the
do
show.
we listen
There
to
are
the wind?
so many more for
Right,
you
so
to listen to
they're
right
doing
here
a
on
documentary on her, but she
selfdiscoverywisdom.com.
will eventually
Come and
lose
hear the
all her hearing.
illumination
So
that's
she's
going to shed
gathering
light
all
on
her
your
sounds
path.
to bank them. And it's
So when
these
she went through life reading lips, somehow
Yes.
somebody trained her.
No,
When
she
did she
trained
get her
herself.
first? When did she get her first hearing aid?
18. Or was it 17? 17 or 18, yeah.
Wow.
And then finally we could hear things, but they've told her that she may lose her hearing in months or a couple of years, but she will lose it completely. So she is banking all the sounds, right? And then what she's got planned for her future, you know, is just like unstoppable. And this is the thing is, you know, that's the thing is, do not let whatever you're given. I was given 2 diseases, right? And it's like, okay, I have to navigate them, right? So sometimes they slow me down, but if I really love something, I'm going to find a way, right? I'm not identified by what they are. They're just a challenge that travels with me. And that doesn't stop me from following what I want to do. And I think that's what people need to understand. When your heart is in it, you'll find a way. But you just got to find out what to put your heart into.
We were just at our national convention earlier last month, July 4th weekend, or week after. There was a gentleman there that spoke to us. His name is Mick Eberling. Have you heard of him? Ebling, his business is unstoppable. Okay.
Yeah.
He used to be. He was a producer for movies and in the Hollywood area. Somebody contacted him about their son didn't have any arms or legs, and he says, "We'll figure out something." And he didn't realize he said that before he even thought about, well, how am I going to do that? Well, he pulled a bunch of people together, and they figured out a way, and he has arms and legs now. In fact, he's going to be going to a United States, or I think a California university this September for college. The young man grew up, and he's coming to America to go to college. But this guy has found different instruments to help people with different reasons. One was couldn't hear. He created wristbands, a bodysuit, and ankle bands for someone that couldn't hear to put on, and they could hear music for the first time. The whole auditorium was full of deaf people, and they heard music for the first time.
Wow.
And then he was talking to an 80-year-old man who stopped playing the piano 20 years ago because of Parkinson's disease. And he says, what if? So he took the armbands from the people that couldn't hear, put it on this gentleman. His hands stopped shaking, and he played the piano for the first time in 20 years. He was in his 80s.
Nothing is impossible.
And when you were sharing about nothing is impossible.
No.
This young lady who is going to eventually lose her hearing, maybe she needs to meet Mick and figure out what's going to stop her. Nothing's going to stop her. She's going to be great. She's going to be fine, but they need to meet together.
Exactly. And you know, just another quick point on America's Got Talent. There is this guy that does that jumping from like building to building and things to things. There's a name for it, right? And he goes up and the camera's on him outside where he jumps and comes into the auditorium. And he stands up there and he takes his leg off. Right? He takes his leg off and he does all that jumping with one leg. So, you
Nothing
know,
is
he lost it
unstoppable.
at the age of 9 and on
Oh,
the farm with a tractor. And he just, you know, it's
learn.
don't hold someone back because they have an obstacle, right?
Exactly.
Teach them to do it a different way.
Mhm.
Teach them that, okay, you can't do this, but what can you do? What
Yeah.
if you could do that? What if you could do this? And you
Encourage
don't know
them for
until you try.
something. Yes,
Yes.
exactly. I
We've
love
been
that.
taught, I think, very much to kind of give in and give up and woe is me and the trauma. It's like, no, it's not given to you to punish you or for you to stay there. It's given you to find out your courage, your strength, your resilience, your abilities. It's there to show you who you
Yes.
are and how to pivot in another direction.
So many people have, there's story after story of those people that learn to pivot
Yes,
and take their and embrace their obstacle, whatever it was, and become someone better, improved, giving back to others because of that. And that's what we need to show anybody. You have ability to do anything you want to do. We just got to find it. Find your purpose.
yes. And you know, it's sometimes it can, you know, be a lifetime because, you know, I think our generation especially was the expectation,
Mm.
right? You know, and also we were fighting the battle of women in business, etc. You know, I
Mhm.
lived in South Africa for a number of years, and it
Mhm.
was really difficult
A
to do
man's world.
business amongst men. A
Yes.
lot of misogyny there at
Yeah.
that time. Um, and, you know, I think now we're looking at so many women just so strong on who they are and their abilities, and they're not waiting for permission. They're just doing. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's in that, I kind of consider it in that short time. I have millennial children, so late 30s and 40s.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
two of them not having children. One of them has had three, gave me three wonderful little grand boys, which jump all over me 3 days a
Oh,
week, which I love. The other one, you know, her life is about traveling, right? It's about working to
mhm.
travel and have life experiences. Another one is, you know, has a stepdaughter, but it's about restaurants and feeding people and making people happy, etc. And I think is this
Mhm.
you've got to get married and the you know the picket fence and the 2.2 children, which I never quite worked out, 2.2 children, you know, all of this type of thing, that's gone, right? It's completely gone.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Mhm.
what does today mean to you? What do you really want to do? Where is your heart? And you know, sometimes you may have your heart pumping and you really don't know what it's for, but it's
Right.
go and experiment until you find that one thing, like you did for so many years. You were really good at your job. You helped this person and that company and this and that. Then you found something to be truly passionate about. And that changed your life
Yeah,
altogether. That's the
it
experience we
did.
want people to have.
Yeah, exactly. Um, we you're groomed from years and decades of watching your parents go to work, do a
Mm-hmm.
good job for a company, and have a retirement plan. Both my parents did that with their new spouses and became multimillionaires. But the next generations are finding it more and more difficult to be financially secure. That employers don't have the longevity idea anymore. As soon as
Yeah.
people get close to that retirement age, oh, how would you like to do your early retirement? And everybody
Yeah.
says, oh yeah, I love that idea. And then what do I do after?
Yeah.
I'm in that age group that I'm not that more desirable person anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking a what if job that I would never have taken if I was still working in my
Mm-hmm.
career. Um, but everything's changed. But we can help people find their purpose and find something that they love to do outside of what they're doing to make their bread and money. You know, another thing is I noticed is that there's too many kids working 2 jobs, 4 jobs, and still
Yes,
working paycheck to paycheck.
exactly.
Young, 25, 30, maybe even 40-year-olds,
Yeah.
because the world of business has changed.
Yeah.
I hope we can help them with that, build something for them that they want to do outside of their W-2 so they can build that prosperity that was designed in America. America is still a wonderful country. It's just changed a little bit, but we have
it's going
more.
through a change.
Yes.
And it's a change that's very necessary. And if you're just patient and kind of carry on building your own passion, your own meaningful purpose,
Mhm.
you will see,
Yeah.
you know, the roses are going to come up in the next few years. But it had to go through this change to see what was wrong in order for people to be invited to put what's right.
What's right? Yes, exactly.
Just like in our own personal lives, you know, we come across and say, well, you know, I've been doing this. Yes, I was good at it. I don't know how many people for the years I've interviewed are saying, I did everything right. Right. Then I ended up with the nice house, the nice car, the big high paying job. And I got divorced, or I had a heart attack, or I absolutely loathed what I was doing. And then what I call the cosmic 2x4 came along. All right. And redirected them. And they're now doing something they absolutely love. Yeah.
Yes. We all go through that, I think, you know, it's because we're groomed from early on in life by our parents. Go out and get a good support
climb
your
the
family.
ladder. Yeah.
You know, but not necessarily that good job is one thing that you are passionate about. I think the world is changing. So yeah. Find a passionate job that you can inspire yourself, that you can help others, and then you'll have true prosperity, true freedom, true wisdom.
And to actually, in today's day and age, especially, if somebody says it's impossible, somebody will find a way to make it possible. Are you that person? Right?
Yeah.
You know, we never know. There was a lovely movie a few years ago, Harnessing the Wind. I think it was, beautiful, right? A young man, I don't know if it was Uganda or where, but it was a country filled with drought. Nobody was being able to grow anything, no moisture, no water, which at the present moment we're seeing across the world. So many migrants happening because there is no water. Their land is dried up. But he went and read everything he could from the library, and he created something that harnessed the wind that could create water. And there was that determination in him. And if you see a young person or an older person, any person who has that determination, please get behind them.
Yes.
Because you have no idea if they're the next innovation, or even if it's just a dream and right now it doesn't come to fruition. Do not dampen someone's spirit.
No, never. Because they'll find a way to do something. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the moral of our story with today's conversation is that you can redirect any time into any business, but your heart's got to be in it. And if you don't quite know how to identify what that is, you know, go volunteer, go and be around people that, you know, lift you up and make you happy. Go and do something that you know, but that your heart's in it. And then you'll discover how to make a business out of it. Right. And then you need the guidance on how to make a business out of it, but know what it is that gets you up in the morning. That's the thing, the key.
Excited to get out of bed.
Exactly. And then make sure that you have got the right insurance to cover you in any crisis, because we're not promised tomorrow. We never know what's going to happen tomorrow. However secure you think you're making it today, sometimes it's out of our control, but make sure that you are covered in a way that it isn't going to cost you everything. It's going to be there to support you. So
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
So how do people get hold of you if they want to talk about insuring themselves, and also if they want to go, you know what, I've had this business idea, or I hate my job, I'd love to pivot and I don't know how. So I know that you've got a free offer for people, a complimentary 30-minute financial education and leadership strategy session. So how do people get hold of you for that?
You can find me on LinkedIn at Terisse, Terisse Walker, Walker. I also have email, terisse.walker@gmail.com. My business phone number is 310-426-8459. I'm on the Google. You'll find me on Google. and just about any other platform. And I do have several websites. I don't know, is it better to say them or?
Yes, because we've
Okay.
got people who are listening that are
Okay,
looking at
perfect.
it.
Okay, there's a couple websites. One is Terisse Walker. So it's www.teresewalker.com. And the other one is https:// launch launch/agent/Terisse Walker. And I see is a bottom screen here. So if I spelled it too fast, you can write it again. So
PF
I really
launch LAUNCH/agent Terisse Walker, TERISSE Walk. On LinkedIn is Terisse Walker, Facebook Terisse Walker, Instagram Terisse Walker, YouTube Terisse Walker Insurance, where you share all sorts of tidbits and things like that. So it really doesn't matter what the age of the person is or what they're kind of looking for right now, whether they're looking to kind of secure themselves or whether they're looking at, I've had an idea. I'd love to be able to do this, but have no idea of doing that. Or even somebody that's in a job right now saying, I would just love to pivot into something else, but I don't know what. So, in cases like
yes,
this,
thank you. I've done several startups in my decades of entrepreneurship. I've helped people with starting up a small business, accounting practices for their small business, setting up their books, how to read financial statements. Yet I've kind of set my accounting business aside, but I'm still there to support people. And I'm just here to chat. If you want to talk about ideas to help you get something of purpose going, I'd love to chat. So.
And no matter what it is that you're doing, it's kind of financial based, is that if you want to build a business, you need to know your finances and how your finances can work for you. That will create more finances. So it's so many people kind of chase a dream, but they haven't got that foundation of the finances set working for them. And then, of course, in your other business of, the insurance, that is making sure that finances are there for you in times of trouble. So there is that financial thread that runs through everything, which you do have many years of experience with.
Thank you. Yes. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for having me on your show. I appreciate you so much. And I love the little podcast desires that you have, not just for building something with purpose, but the senior, helping women, helping men. I mean,
Yes.
I have a wide network of people looking at your podcast shows, and I appreciate that very much. And just keep on going.
Oh, I intend to for as long as I can until I can't. Right back at you, darling. And, I'm glad that you work with youth because they get the wonderful advantage of your experience, but also you're teaching them, stop putting us out to pasture. We've still got a lot to give. And to anybody of mature age, it ain't over, baby. It's just another chapter in your book of life. And, go and do something you love to do. And that's really what this chapter is all about, doing something you love to do. And you've got so much to give and so much to share. So go find a way of doing it, right? And get the right insurance so that you're secured in doing it.
Well, Sarah,
so it's a real
you.
round there. But yeah, you're an example to everyone that it ain't over until it's over. It doesn't matter, how you're knocked down. It's how you get back up. And it's all about the influence, how you influence people. And we influence people not by being an influencer. We influence people with inspiration. When people are inspired by who you are and what you're doing, that's the invitation. Right. Could I do that?
Yes.
Right? Could this person help me? Is it possible that I could step out of my humdrum life and seek something that lights my day up? And yes, it's very, very possible. You've got two examples right here. Right? So never give up, never give in. There's another ride to have. You can get on it and see where it takes you. Be exploratory, because that's what life's about.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and of course, the book, Built with Purpose, can be found on Amazon, and it has numerous other authors in there as well. And of course, an anthology book is something that always gives you something different from chapter to chapter to chapter, which is wonderful. And you have so many different perspectives here, which is great. And then, of course, you've got the complimentary offer. So, you know, reach out, have that conversation. You have no idea where it's going to go, what it's going to spark, and how it's going to maybe just seed some opportunity of what if you could, right?
Yes.
So, Terisse, thank you so much for being with us here today. And the internet gods, thank you for staying with us, even though a little sketchy here and there, it stayed with us, which is great. And it knew that we had to get this information out. So thank you so much for it.
All right, Sarah, thank you.
And to everyone else out there, yes, you need that security to know that should you have to face something in life, no matter what loss is, the security is there. But also that, yes, you know, you can pivot to a business. You can pivot even to a group that are doing something you're passionate about. But the whole point of it is your meaningful passion is igniting your heart, soul, and spirit. So please light that up, because that lifts you up and that lifts up everyone else around you. So until next time, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you to listen to right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Come and hear the illumination that's going to shed light on your path.
Find your path.